So for the first time in a very long time, RuneScape has a new early to mid game boss. And like a lot of people, I hopped on my main account and obliterated it with some high-end gear, but that is not really the intended demographic for this boss. So I thought it'd be fun to hop onto a very low level account with a completely empty bank, no gear, nothing to his name, to figure out if Scurrius is a good way to build a new account. How much money can you make killing Scurrius? Can we kill it with nothing to start with? We're gonna try to go through the new player experience. Okay, this is kind of a random account I just happen to have. It has very low combat stats, 37 attack, 36 strength, 30 defense. I don't even know how I got those specific stats, honestly. It has 15 prayer and 37 magic. If you look at the bank, it is completely empty. We're just gonna be using our fists, so can we punch a rat to death? Probably not on our own. Now, Scurrius is located right in Varrock, which is, I think, a bit underrated. This boss is incredibly accessible location-wise, which I think makes it a lot more appealing for new players to try to kill it. Now, this boss can be killed solo, but there's no way we can do that right now. We don't even have protection prayers. So we're gonna hop into a mass world and see if we can get some kills. Okay, so we're in one of the busiest worlds right now. There's probably 20 odd people here or so. We're just gonna start punching Scurrius. We're gonna see if we can even hit him once. So we did hit Scurrius, but is that enough to get kill credit just from doing 1 damage? I kind of doubt it. No. Okay. So maybe we'll pick some of the stuff off of the ground here and try to get at least a starting weapon, because otherwise I don't think we're gonna ever get any loot from the boss because we're just not doing enough damage. It's getting absolutely obliterated. Okay, we picked up some big bones, some lobsters, just some random odds and ends off the ground. And with that, we're gonna buy ourselves an adamant scimitar and a amulet of strength. Probably the biggest value for our money right now, but besides that, we're gonna buy 2 combat potions, which are budget super combat potions. And yeah, we'll see if that's enough to get ourselves a couple kills. Oh my god, we might have to find a world with less people in it. Scurrius is getting absolutely blasted by these people here. No kill credit, unfortunately. Now, because the boss is dying so quickly, we don't have to worry too much about the actual mechanics. We have no way to protect against them anyway, so we're pretty much just tanking up all the damage. Hey, there we go, we got a kill actually. And death runes, that's actually probably the best drop we can get, considering our damage. Now, Scurrius has a kind of interesting drop table. Now, if you kill the boss solo, or happen to do the most damage to the boss out of anyone and get MVP, you get access to a much better drop table than if you just get one of the basic drops. The average loot for a MVP kill or a solo kill is almost 10,000, where a non-MVP kill is only 2,000, so you're getting 5 times more money if you're contributing to the boss the most. Now, Scurrius is a really interesting design because the loot is not the main draw of this boss, experiences. Besides the pet, Scurrius has one unique drop, the Scurrius' spine. This is used to create 3 Ratbane weapons, one for melee, one for magic, one for range, which we're going to try to get eventually. But you can also exchange them for experience lamps, which you can use in any of your combat skills. So although we are barely getting the kill credit, we still have just as likely of a chance of getting the Scurrius' spine, which is the unique drop. So as long as we get kill credit, we're going to be getting some decent experience, and we'll be able to unlock those unique weapons, which I think is a good place to start. Okay, we got 6 kills under our belt. Only really good drop so far is the death rune drops, although there's a good amount of loot just kind of dropping into the ground. So we have about 17k, and with that we're going to invest into a couple other items. We're going to buy this combat bracelet, which is a huge upgrade, and we might buy some monk's robes. Although we don't really have prayer right now, we're just going to wear these just so we don't look like a complete noob. At least it looks like we might be wearing these on purpose, but we're not. And we'll buy some adamant boots, why not? So if you start killing Scurrius sometime around when I did, the amount of people per world is kind of important. If there's like 25, 30 people killing Scurrius in the same world, it's very difficult to get the kill count. It just dies so quickly. You have to hit the boss successfully pretty much every time you can, or you just don't do enough damage. So what we're kind of looking for is a world where there's like 10 to 15 people. You still want the boss to die quickly because otherwise you get completely destroyed. We have no defensive gear, we have no prayers, we're just hoping Scurrius doesn't kill us. So we definitely need some people to help, but probably in the 10 to 15 person range. Okay, we got a couple more kills under our belt. 20,000 GP to work with. We'll probably upgrade to a glory to get a bit more accuracy. And we'll buy ourselves a yellow cape just to, I don't know, for fashion, I guess. Oh my god. So yeah, those falling rocks do the most damage out of anything somehow. Okay, we're gonna buy some defensive gear just to see if we can tank up the boss a bit better, because once again, we don't have any of the protection prayers. We're gonna try full adamant and some apple pies because they are reasonably cost effective and we're very poor. Oh, that noise is beautiful. Our first Scurrius spine. We got that pretty much on rate. It's a 1 in 33 or something. So our first spine under our belt. So we can either use that as a combat lamp and get 5,000 experience, or we could save it for the Ratbane weapon, which is probably what we're gonna do. We'll get more spines, so we might as well keep one in the bank. And I think we just need a couple more levels until we can wear it. Oh, there we go, another one. Kill 45 and we got our second Scurrius spine. So this one we can actually trade in for a combat lamp. And perfect timing because we just hit 40 attack, which means we can now wear rune weaponry, which I think means we should be able to wear the bone mace, which is a rune mace with the Scurrius spine attached. Nope, we can't. I was wrong about that. So we actually need 50 attack for the bone mace. That's a bit of a bummer because that means we'd have to keep using our current setup for quite a while longer. Well, let's trade in this one extra spine we have right now, see how much experience we get. So we get a combat lamp, we can use it in any skill. We're gonna use it in attack because we really wanna get the bone mace as soon as possible. We get 5,000 experience for that, bringing us to 41 attack. Okay, so we're able to afford a rune scimitar, which is a pretty strong weapon. Now, the issue with Scurrius right now is because we're doing it in the mass world, the experience per hour isn't nearly as good as it would be in a small group or solo because the boss dies so quickly. I hit it like 3 times and it's dead. So most of the time you're spent waiting or missing. So I'm not actually getting much XP per hour. It's like 7,000 or 8,000, which is pretty bad for the level, although we are getting decent loot and the Scurrius spines at a pretty quick rate. I think we might need to train up our account a bit more to really get the most of this boss. Originally, I was going to use all of my spines actually on prayer because you do actually get less experience than if you just put it into a combat skill. But I thought eventually we would start working on 43 prayer so we could do some Scurrius solos. But because we actually need 50 attack to get the bone mace, and the bone mace is by far the biggest upgrade we're ever going to get here, I think we're going to put all of them into attack and level our prayer with some of the money we've earned. So it's not much, but we've been able to get a decent amount of drops, picked up some stuff off the ground people left, and thanks to that we're up to nearly 100k, which we're going to invest into big bones. Big bones are not the quickest way to train prayer, but you know, we gotta work with what we got. Alright, so the 300 bones was just enough to get us all the way to 37 magic. Took about 25 minutes, so definitely a worthwhile investment. Because we had to invest a little bit more money, but definitely worth it because we're able to get actually 40 prayer, which means we will be able to use protect from magic and ranged, which is really all we will need for the mass worlds. So we're going to take a minute to actually train on some sand crabs. For one, we kind of need to get 50 attack before we can really kill Scurrius effectively, but I'm also kind of curious, what is the experience per hour comparison between AFK sand crabs at this level and the new boss? And it turns out AFK sand crabs is around 25,000 experience per hour with this gear setup. While we're getting experience rates, we actually got all the way up to 48 attack, which is pretty close. We should be able to finish the rest of it off at the boss. There it is, a 5th spine, and that should be enough, I think, to finally get ourselves up to 50 attack. It's been a little brutal because we've been ignoring strength entirely. Our strength is still like level 37 or something, it's quite low. 36 actually, holy. But we are still dumping both of these into attack because we can finally now wield the bone mace. The bone mace is incredibly high DPS against only really Scurrius. It adds 10 extra max hits, which is huge at this level. I can only hit like an 8, which means I'm over doubling my DPS right now. So that's why we really power leveled attack, but now we're definitely going to move on to strength. The only issue right now is we need 50,000 gold, which we just, I think, can scrape together here. And we also need to buy ourselves a rune mace. So I think we can get Historian Aldo to make it for 50k. Otherwise, I think you can smith it yourself, but I'm not leveling smithing. There it is, the bone mace, which honestly should be called the bone flail. Definitely looks like a flail, but what do I know? Let's go smash some rats. Well, that's a good as place to start a recorder as any. So we got our 100th kill, and we got another spine. On top of that, we're getting about 30k per hour strength experience, which is quite good. We're also going to chuck this into prayer so we can start working towards protect melee. I've noticed the XP per hour really depends on the mass world size. Once again, we're looking for a group size of like 8 to 10 is ideal, but 30k per hour is still pretty comparable to AFK sand crabs. But that's in a group. We will really have to try solo to get a fair example. So much of this loot I was able to just pick up off the ground. People are leaving rune battle axes, rune full helms. Every once in a while I'm able to snipe one, although there's like 30 other people vying for it. But our cash stack's now up to over 100k, 150k to be exact, so we are building a cash stack up slowly. But the money per hour is not that good right now because we're really not getting any MVPs ever. Oh my god, finally we got another one. I think we're like 90 kills dry on that one. Finally another spine coming through. We just need a couple more and we can get protect from melee. Okay, so we're about almost 100 kills later. We've actually trained our combats quite a bit already. We're gonna sell off all our loot. We've got a decent amount of death runes, chaos runes. Still only one more spine. I mean, hello, any minute now we should be able to get protect from melee, but we've been killing this boss all day so far. No luck. Quick cash stack check-in though, 311k. It's growing slowly. Is that enough? 2 more spines I think should do it. Trade these suckers in for prayer experience. Don't misclick, goddamn. Oh my god, we need one more. There's 50 strength. I kind of want to keep training strength up, but I also feel like defense is important as well. We really can't upgrade any gear without some defense levels and quests, of course, but I don't want to do more quests. This is not a questing video. This is a rat stomping video. Well, we're able to get 2 dragon items, hell yeah. Oh my god, and the granite maul. Oh, what an inventory, look at that. Yeah, okay, we didn't get that from the rat boss, but it was on the ground, it was fair game. And we got our final spine, that will be enough. After almost 300 kills, we are now up to 43 prayer, which means we can now probably take Scurrius on in a solo encounter. So finally, we're able to try out Scurrius in a solo, and my god, is the experience so much better. In the mass worlds, we were getting like 30k an hour max, but solo, we're getting double that. So yeah, sure, we're getting way less Scurrius spines, but the XP per hour is so much better, it hardly matters. And on top of that, we should be making more money per hour as well because we get much better loot, 5 times more loot. Will it take 5 times longer to kill it? Honestly, it's possible. Well, there's our first solo Scurrius down, and for a spine, what are the odds? Well, 1 in 33, those are the odds, I guess. Now, because almost all of the damage in the boss fight is avoidable, what you really want to prioritize here, if you're my level, is prayer bonus. So we're going to buy ourselves a vestment cloak and a miter to really try to just optimize how long our prayer lasts for. Okay, so the cloak is good. Unfortunately, we can't wear the miter yet unless we get 40 magic, but we're also gonna buy ourselves a Brutus shield, only like 5k for this thing, and it gives you a whopping 5 prayer bonus, so our prayer points should last for a significant amount longer now, and kind of fashionable too. So I've done a number of kills, and the XP per hour hovers usually around 55 to 65k at my level, which is really good. Considering we're barely pushing 50s in our combat stats, that's a ton of experience per hour, and significantly quicker than AFK training. There it is, 50 defense. That will be enough defense for now. Okay, so I have an idea. We got another spine, and you'll notice that I am only level 1 ranged. Can you use the antique lamp on ranged? Because that would be so helpful. Ranged is notoriously slow to train in the beginning, so if we could jump start it with this lamp, that would be amazing. Oh, you can. 5,000 experience right into range, 1 to 20, just like that. That's actually incredibly helpful. Well, there's a second one going in for 31 ranged. Oh my god. That kind of gives me an idea though. I kind of want to try out the bone short bow, the ranged variant, so maybe we'll go train up our range to 50 and give it a try. Okay, after liquidating everything we've earned so far, we're at about 700k, which we're going to quickly invest into some ranged gear. We really don't need much. We're really going to spend just about 100k on some mithril darts, studded armor, and some range potions, and we're probably just going to AFK sand crabs until we can use the bone short bow. Okay, so the XP per hour with mithril darts, so just for reference, the XP per hour at sand crabs with mithril darts and some low level gear is about 30k per hour, but how's that compared to the new Ratbane weapon? So after a few hours, we've done it 50 ranged, just barely had enough darts too. Kinda wish I had just saved a spine. I don't really know why I had to use that last one, but we'll have to go get another one. Oh my god. Okay, that was quick. First kill back, we got one, perfect. Okay, let's make the short bow. Okay, so we went ahead and bought ourselves some low level range gear. We got some blue d'hide, rune arrows. Unfortunately, no Ava's device. We are gonna be picking arrows up off the ground, I guess. Now to make the bone short bow, we need a spine as well as a U short bow and 50k gold. But there it is. This weapon is really strong. Now what's really interesting about it is it's one of the few 3-tick weapons in the game, and you get a significantly higher max hit as well. Adding 10 damage to our max hit right now is massive. That's literally doubling our max hit probably. So let's go try out Scurrius in a solo with the bone short bow. Okay, the DPS on this thing is really good. We're definitely getting quicker kills than the melee setup, although it is more expensive, but with a Ava's device, this really wouldn't be that bad. Now sand crabs, we were getting about 30k per hour AFK. With the bone short bow, we're getting close to 100k per hour, which is crazy. For range, yes, you're competing with stuff like chinchompas, cannons, so it's not busted, I would say, but considering it is pretty well free, I would say, you're probably going to break even killing Scurrius with the bone short bow. It's an incredibly good option, and killing these tiny rats with it is just so fun. Any of the bone weaponry has no tick delay when you attack these tiny rats, and you always hit your max hit, so you get a ton of experience from killing those things. The XP rate is just incredibly good. For most low to mid-level accounts with not a ton of money, this is by far the best way to train from now on. All the way until you get the blowpipe, I think you should really just carry on killing Scurrius and maybe past then as well. So there's no doubt in my mind that if you have a new-ish account or even a mid-level account, this new boss is definitely worth doing. Not to mention we were able to build our bank up to nearly a mil just from killing it. So sure, the money's not great, but considering you usually make no money and if not spend money leveling your combat stats, I think it's a pretty decent bit of profit considering. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.